Playing the guitar there already. This is like some Velvet Underground.
Welcome back to another day. Today, it's a Thursday. Honestly, I don't know how this week went. I felt like this was like Monday was like yesterday, but this week's running. It's all spring vibes outside. Currently, I am drafting emails, sending last list to the last 100 seed investors here in New York, and then we'll completely focus on SF. This is literally the last seed investors. The last 40 were, above 5,000 followers. This is the last piece that have less than 5,000 followers. Today there's two events happening. There's a roundtable with VCs in the afternoon, and then in the evening at the law firm there is another venture event happening. There's inside partners, like I think that one of the partners there is giving a speech. Yeah, so once we're done with this emails, we'll hop on the call, maybe at one of the events. Then we'll take you guys there. Let's get the day started. Okay, so we're hopping on two calls, and then once we're done with the two calls, I'm right around where the event is. It's a 5-minute walk from here. Walk around. I'm around Herald Square, 34th Street, and it's always busy. It's so nice, like the weather is just refreshing. But yeah, let's head in. Okay, we got done with our calls. One was a growth lead call, was great, a great candidate too. And also our team's goal, we kind of discussed on what we can improve, especially, getting your competition. You can always learn. You know what they say, you study the competition. No one ignores it. You really have to learn. We already learned a lot. Okay, so now let's head out to the event. Okay, we got done with one of the events. We're heading out to the next one. This one was more of a round table. They had people from like SVB Bank or Cooley, like law firms, or Citibank, and it was more like less VCs, more law firms and banks type of situation. But they had this small round table, different groups, where everyone kind of like talked a bit about what they were doing. So it was like small round table type of thing. The next one is actually a panel. The Inside Partners partner is actually the one on the panel. So that one is more VC-ish compared to this one. But it was great seeing familiar faces here. Now let's head out to the next.
Playing the guitar there already. This is like some Velvet Underground.
Davis, who sat here as a panelist, you recently spoke to, talking about how you're investing in 2026. And
Okay, I actually pitched to the managing director at Insights, the guy who was speaking. I had to actually talk to him on the way out. I actually rode the elevator down, all the way down, and he sent me an email, so I have to follow up. We just finished our pitch deck for the Construct Jacobs, the Germany accelerator program I mentioned. Woke up at 5 a.m., got done with the call, and now at the gym, hoping on workout, starting the day super early. I am not used to this. Normally I wake up at 7, 8, but today I had to wake up at 5 because Germany time. It was a great session. Let's get the day started. Okay, another Friday. We just got done reviewing the week, set up, the events for next week. The weather is nice, so we're outside. We're by Hudson Yards, and honestly just enjoying how green everything looks, how spring weather it is. And now I'm getting the weekends back. My work at the NGO is wrapping up, which is exciting. And now it's like a new phase, of just like now just focusing more on the company and more on the funding side, and like maybe a possible SF trip. We might move to SF if we don't close the round in New York, So that's either the options we have is close it within this month or move to SF and close it next month. So it's exciting at the same time, but also, it's those moments where you don't actually know how it will play out. You know it will play out, but like the how is still a question. It's exciting. But yeah, let's continue editing this week's YouTube video. And currently taking a walk at Central Park, and honestly, I have missed some days where you don't actually work and you get to think. So today has been super productive in a sense of not working, but I was able to rethink different things I wouldn't be able. Sometimes when you get into routines, you get stuck and you do the same thing every week and you don't really think. Your perspective really changes. Like having this like different environment, different people I met today, really helped me think that it's actually very productive to take a break. And that's what I learned. I'm so grateful on how long-term productivity and strategy-wise, you can think about different strategies that are long-term better than your typical routine. And it was amazing. Normally working on Saturdays every day, just doing the same thing. I've done it for the past I would say 7 months, 8 months, has been very consistent and very the same schedule. But now today it feels like new change, and a lot of things actually align, which is crazy. But yeah, excited for the next phase, and just take your breaks, enjoy, take a walk, and being productive doesn't mean just putting in the grind, but sometimes just getting a different perspective and a different environment could be a long-term productive or long-term gain in general. But yeah, let's enjoy the day, and today this will be the end of today. Welcome back to a Monday. Currently I'm heading to our team's call. Monday is exciting. This week we're expecting some responses from angels. The plan is to move to SF ASAP, working on the back ends of that. But this is we kind of sent out the last emails last week, so we expect some responses. We're around 90%, and it's true. Just aiming for 100, you need to learn a lot. But we have new people joining this week too, mostly on the go-to-market side and on the growth side of the company. And we're all focused on the growth side of the company. Platform side, we have people also improving the platform, which is exciting. Next step is we need to hire customer experience interns so that they can reach out to our customers, make sure everyone is having a good experience, but also learning on what we can improve. And that is the plan for today, posting those roles. That way we can expand both in sales, both in customer experience, and making the platform better in general. Let's get this day started. We got done with our morning calls and morning emails, just replied to everything. Now I'm hopping on to my afternoon calls. It's one is our COO, CMO, and then we have a marketing call. But then we also had a discussion on morning calls about our website. The humanistic feel was missing. Our website currently gives out the futuristic feel, but then we want to add a futuristic humanistic feel in the future. So people, it was astronauts or some sort of human touch into this futuristic element in general, which is exciting. And our team is working on it and making that happen, but also working with as an international student, there's a lot of STEM OPT stuff you have to fill out. Especially as a founder, you really have to go through the entire thing on your own, because I'm basically employed by the company I founded, but then the company still has to supervise me and everything, because this is a training as a student. So going through all those forms right now. Welcome to a Tuesday. I just hopped off the call with the team, and later on I'm meeting someone who I met at SF. He's another entrepreneur based there. We'll be talking about investor intros. This week a lot of the focus is just following up on the angels and prepping up for SF in general. And later on there's an event happening. It's more about energy. There's an investor coming, SOSV, They're kind of like having a panel about energy. It's not education, not related to us, but energy is interesting. And because the VC, like SOSV, kind of sometimes invests in education tech and all the other stuff, we'll probably head out there and let's see if we can talk. But it's cold outside. It literally got cold today. It's just like yesterday. But spring is around the corner, and I can feel the change now. Like the days, like this week feels like a shift week where things are like literally changing. So it's exciting. Let's get into it.
Efficient at this time. Because you've got an ionized gas, the electrons have been stripped off the atom. You've got this.
It was mostly like deep tech focused, but most people I met were not in deep tech, and I met someone who really understood our business from the industrial side. He was working in Princeton. He's now education, but was in industry, so he really understood the need to bridge industry with education. And we were literally just talking a lot about that, and it was like a lot of excitement on that. But yeah, wrapping up the night, it was a good day. SOSV, I didn't know they were a pre-seed company, but they are a pre-seed company. We just learned about that. Didn't meet any partner yet. It's more of people with the event, either in the event team or in the back office team that were there. So either way, we were there. We learned something. We learned something new. So yeah, ending the night.